Yeah. Nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah. It's making a list. Shaking its way. Gotta find out.
Shit! You hit me!
Who's been naughty your name? Santa Claus is coming to town. He already did. He's is New Year's Eve is coming to town. If I was to personify the holiday, then guess what it would be? A thing like a Pokemon or a didgeridoo.
Crap.
Breakdance. New Year's is coming to town. What do you sing when New Year's is coming? I don't really know, but hey, it's New Year's. New Year's is freaking coming to town. Oh, I'm stealing a car. Working everywhere. Working everywhere. Working everywhere. Working everywhere. Because what I do sometimes, I want a reason to make a song, you know? I want somebody to hear me sometimes. That's not what we're trying to do sometimes, though. It's like through mediums and stuff like that. We want people to hear what we're saying, or see what we mean, or know what we're going through, or get where we actually are coming from, I guess, as far as an artist, or a person that yeah, I know. I think we try so hard to be able to see through the lenses of other people. But I think also too, if we don't try hard enough, then our own lives can be lacking sometimes, in a certain sense of the word. Alright, I'm going fast as shit. That was awesome. Fail. Let's see if I can actually get another car now.
Slick wheel work.
I'm living in a cardboard box. I think sometimes we trying to, because I try to be someone else sometimes. Not really someone else, but I try to say stuff that I am, but like it's stuff that I'm actually working on being. I notice that people do that sometimes. They like, it's like, oh, hey, what are you doing now? It's like, oh man, I'm working on a bunch of stuff, you know, just when in actuality they're standing in front of you. Ah man, standing, doing lots of stuff, breathing. I wonder if like somebody would actually like say that, and then like a person would actually like, oh yeah, I got a motorcycle.
You hit me. Hey, look out for those
There we
right
go. Awesome. I don't know. I would think of somebody to actually say that, like,
Woo, too close.
to actually say like, oh, you know, breathing, standing, you, stuff like that. Looking around, you know, like, you know, trying to have a break, you know, from the grind, you know. I'm gonna see if I can do another live stream tonight, because I am really, really loopy right now. And it's fun. Oh my god! Ran into a freaking
Something don't feel
toll
too good.
booth phone thing, whatever. I don't know what the hell those things are called. They're called toll poles. Parking tolls, I think. Yeah, parking tolls. Oh. Oh my god. Alright, so you know what I'm gonna do? Go lay down, because laying down is fun. And then that's what I'm gonna do. I think sometimes what people do to try to get through whatever is the mold in their life is because this is what I do sometimes to actually get through the mold in my life. I realize that I'm tired for a reason, I guess. I need to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier.
Oh my god.
Getting ready to start a job, so we're not going to be doing this stuff as much.
Hey there.
So it's a lot easier and more simple to do this now and to say this now. I am a straight man. And it feels good to say something. Only because I enjoy. Sometimes staring at women's butts all day. Sorry, Mr. That. It feels good to say. It really does. And maybe people think that other people think that I'm cutting myself off from experiencing the other side or anything like that. It's just like, if I ever thought that there was anything to be had or any relationship to be had on what people call like the other side is really
Don't be no wise ass punk. Now give me that.
in my way of thinking, it's it's not transient. It's just I respect and I know people who are homosexual, and it doesn't really bother me much that they are. I mean, it doesn't really. I don't really think that somehow. Sometimes my opinions overlap with their opinions, obviously, either politically, through or because I do support gay marriage. I'm not really a worrywart whether or not people will actually be manipulated just by people being able to be married a certain way. I do also understand that there are a lot of people that need to be adopted. There are a lot of kids out there that need parents, and thinking about that is probably more so a big reason why
Hey, you ain't well, homie. Let's get
I don't
you
know,
up
it's
out
hard
of here.
for me to say this, I guess. And also, I've gone years without sex. Like, after a certain relationship. Like, I've masturbated, I guess. But, I mean, I've gone years without it. And it never really... I always realized that it's not the lack of sex or the lack of things that's making me feel a certain era of frustration. And people can say that it's like you go to a theme park to escape, right? When you come back to your house, you still have the same problems. Like the trash still isn't going to take out itself. And if you're pissed off about the trash, then sometimes you could be pissed off about the person that's taking out the trash, or the person that you're making take out the trash. And it has nothing to do with whether or not you're homosexual or heterosexual or anything like that. But wouldn't you rather want, I guess, someone that you can trust to not just take out the trash, but after they come in, wash their hands and then give you a back massage? Or no matter who is doing the back massage, because I mean, if you can say that it's like something holistic, but I mean, I think what we're fighting against, I guess, what people think that we're like being against as far as opinions go, is a part of America that has been gone for quite a long time. Or maybe it's just the misrepresentation of a masses. Or maybe people are just that way sometimes. They want to be able to express themselves in any way, and they don't want to have without the option, because that's what got us into debacle with England. The whole people being insensitive towards each other, I guess. And realizing that the more we forget about ourselves, the more we realize that we run into the same amounts, or the same actions, or the same things that we do over and over and over again. But until we realize or come to solutions with those things and those people, or those ideals, I guess, come up with solutions to be able to make sure that people themselves aren't so insensitive sometimes. Only then, I think, do people actually understand where Because, I mean, I guess if once you think about it too, it's like people are insensitive all over the map, I think. There are people that are insensitive pretty much in America as well as being insensitive. But also, I think what you would be trying to say about a certain person being a certain way in a certain is that does that person have a right to express themselves? You know, does that person have a right to express the way that they like things or the way that they don't like things? Given that way that they like things is within a certain means or a certain bounds of, I say, legality or non-legality. I think that expressing yourself through. I like to dance. I like to go out and dance, and that's literally the only reasons why I go out. I don't go out to mingle or have like what people would call like, oh, I just need to let out the stress. It's just like, no, I'm not letting out the stress. I'm building on something. There's something that I'm trying to get through to myself, and there's something I'm trying to make sure that I can make. It's like, am I making something fun? Probably. Am I trying something new? No, not really. Am I, for so lack of a better word, getting my groove back? Nah, I mean, in a way, maybe. I think that I think that sometimes when we try to when we try to build on
silver, obey, performance car.
when we try to build on what we know or what we believe in, we try to build on that thing. What we don't realize is what we're building on is the way that we see the world through the lens that we're looking at a certain time. But when we start to build on that lens, we don't realize that through that lens, another person would see that as being evil or being a terrible person, or that's just insensitive, or but in some cases living, and also the word insensitive, and I went back to saying that the words themselves, people build so much meaning on what it actually means. The only thing that insensitive actually means is lack of sensitivity. That's it. It could be on an object, it could be on a thing, it could be on a person. Physically, mentally, anything like that. And I think that what people need to really understand is what they make every day. I'd say, as far as not really villainizing or trying to make to be positive. And this is in political weather with people constantly trying to okay, this is a Terminator, but definitely the Terminator.
Where'd it go? Anyone have a pistol?
Oh, God!
Eagle 10, I have the suspect, currently on foot.
I find out most of the time that I find out most of the time that people I really hope that sometimes they decide to be able to be themselves. I want people to be able to understand that they really can be themselves. And once they start trying to be themselves, they'll start to understand the differences and the things that they were barred from when they were younger. I don't particularly, I mean, I wasn't barred basically from seeing any other stuff when I was young. I really wasn't. I wasn't barred from seeing people in their worst conditions or the best conditions. And I did kind of sometimes build on those fears because of the things that I heard from what my father said. But understanding that now I don't trust my dad as much because he is old and he has missing teeth. But
My car, you damn moron!
but he'll get a denture. He'll get a denture palate soon, and he's about 65, so he's kind of due, I guess. I don't know what's going on with his teeth, but I know that I don't really find it bad or anything like that, but I mean, I'm trusting my dad on health issues less and less because my dad decides to eat Snickers bars at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when he just ate a whole bowl of ice cream. And also other things like he did take a lot of mind-altering drugs when he was younger, and god damn it. Bam. Anyways, son of a bitch. And also, I mean, the only reason why I don't trust people as much, I guess. I mean, I still love my father, and I still love my mom, and nothing's gonna change that. And nothing's gonna change the fact that I love them and cherish them and want them to be around me sometimes when they're not trying to tell me about the way that I live my life. Because I love them, but they are annoying. You know. But they're parents, you know, that's what they do. They're supposed to be annoying to where I can actually be the person that they think I should be. But god damn it. I'd hope sometimes that that they see that I'm trying to be a good person. I'm trying to be something there, and I'm trying to stay I hope that they always see that. And I'd hope sometimes that people would
Don't become no murder case now, nigga.
and I'd hope sometimes that people would know that I just want to be seen in a better light sometimes, and because sometimes I can get really down on myself or really judgmental, and I think that being judgmental for myself That was awesome. Anyways, God damn it. But I hope sometimes that they would see that I'm trying to do certain things in certain ways, and I'm trying to make it on my own. You know, I'm not gonna be slowed down by anyone. But I'm building a story, and I'm doing it inside my head right now. And it may seem like it's gonna take forever to be able to get it down on paper, but understanding that I really don't care how long it takes. It could take like 20 years for me to actually get this stuff down on paper, and I'd still probably want to see it come to fruition. I have a lot of ideas, and I have a bunch of ideas that I want to share, and I think that there are good things ahead for me, and I've been doing a lot of stuff since I was a young kid. I've been drawing and painting and sculpting and stuff like that since I was about 7 or 8 years old, or 6 or 7, or I don't really know. Drawing, painting, and I've been drawing and painting since I was 5, and sculpting since I was, I'd say, 7 or 8, I guess, and constantly thinking about what I'm gonna do next, even though I didn't have the utensils to be able to do it with. I really never had a whole bunch of awesome utensils. I only had the Christmassy. He's like, "Yeah, you got this for Christmas." He's like, "Oh, you got a Christmas thing and a Christmas what is it? Yeah, Christmas art set." It's like I had the color pencils. God damn it. I had the color pencils. Get the fuck out of it. God damn you.
Not cool. Not cool.
But yeah, I'd like to think that sometimes I did better with what I had, and I also did really well, and I kind of mastered the Christmas art set basically. I can pretty much draw anything that I put my mind to. I can draw a portrait. I can draw a person, given they don't move around a bunch. I can draw landscapes. I can draw pretty much anything, and I have a really good sense of depth perception, and I do a lot of different stuff like that. So and also I'm good with clay works and sculpting and molds and stuff like that too.
Hey, you got off lucky,
But that's not my resume. I'm just trying to put myself out there, you know. God damn it. I try so hard to be able to build stuff and do stuff with my hands, and but I also know that eventually it's not going to be that case, I guess. I mean, if I keep using them the way that I'm using them, they'll still stay that way, I guess. But I just think the future is uncertain, I guess. You know, about what I'm actually going to be doing when I'm older, you know. It may be like a couple of years before I actually get to start to do actually anything that I really want to do, or a few more years in my into my old age probably before I actually get. And also, the guy that made the French mannequins was 76 when they started using his actual design. He was 76 years old when they started using his design for models or mannequins. And that's actually one of the certain measurements there are for, say, like what they call the perfect human being. So yeah, as a 76-year-old design, came up with all those French mannequins you see in the department stores and all those other different ones that you see in the really fancy department stores and stuff like that. All those, you remember the design you see when you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw something with fashion, or I'm gonna put some clothes on this girl, and then we're gonna see where this goes. That's a 76-year-old's design. It's a dude that's 76 years old. He's probably like 90 now, and he's probably or dead. And they all thought that he was gonna die, but he decided to live. And I think that as people get older, people start to realize that they're not going anywhere. People start to realize that they're not going to go into a certain when people get older, they start to realize that they're going to be more consistent in what they do, and they're going to try harder, I guess, sometimes, and not only just try harder, but be there in a certain sense of the word, especially in business, or maybe not in a whole bunch of things as far as like EMT service goes or anything like that, but I'd say it's really easy to think that things are going to last forever. It's really easy to think that things are always going to be a certain way, and I'd say that it's harder to actually be able to predict whatever thing is going to happen to change a person's life. Oh god dang it! I mean, it's like I could literally win the lottery tomorrow and not do any of this stuff anymore. But I mean, I'd win the lottery, but I'd probably still do some of it, stuff that made me feel good, I guess. Oh god dang it! I've understood that there are certain things in awesome. Oh my gosh, I want to do it. I want to do it. Give me. I'm actually gonna see if I can. Let's see here. I can run and throw a grenade.
Step on it. We got a visitor.
Citizens report shots fired on Great Ocean Highway in Pongva Hills.
Damn, 5-0.
Attention all units. We've got a 211 on a group deck security truck. Respond code 3. Suspect southbound east of Chumash Pier.
Awesome. That's the reason why I didn't want to ram it. But I didn't have any sticky bombs. Or I did have sticky bombs, but I couldn't switch to them while I was still on the motorcycle. So I didn't. So I just kept on going with my guns, and it didn't work out for me. But realize that sometimes you do have to stick to your guns, and realize, not to say that you stick to your guns or anything like that, or stick to the same thing that you've been doing, even though that sometimes it doesn't pay off. Realize that, man, you gotta find a different way of doing the same thing sometimes to give yourself better results. A different medium to be doing the same thing, to realize that or to make people realize that you have talent in a certain situation and that you deserve to be able to be utilized. When you're doing freelance work, or if you ever do freelance work, realize that you're going to find that you have a lot of downtime. a lot of people not telling you what to do, and you have to be able to sit down and do your work. Basically, as you do it, you have to tell yourself, I have to take a break now, or you have to tell yourself, I have to do something else now, or you have to tell yourself, it's 5 o'clock, I gotta go home, I gotta do something else, I gotta go somewhere else and not be near me, or near this, basically, and because it's work. And you have to realize that that's what happens to your hobby if it turns into a career. You have to be professional about it, and you have to realize that your professionalism is what you're actually going to be able to be more. You're gonna want to be more like. You're gonna want to. I'm gonna hit that car. Yes, awesome. That was so cool. Yeah, explosion. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I'm not an organized person, and I know I'm not. But I have to realize that there are more things in my closet that are worth dry cleaning now than there were, I guess, 2 months ago. So, and also saving up that amount of money to afford stuff on my own and being able to do stuff on my own, it really helps. And also, with even the that I get from my roommate, to be able to be sometimes allowed a certain allowance, and I have to pay it back at the end of the month. It's not a gift by any means, and it allows me to do different things. It allows me to save up different money, and it allows me to save up different things to where I can actually do things for myself, and actually make a name for myself, and make people actually want to be around me. Because, I mean, it's a job to be able to be sociable, and it's fun. It's a fun job. It's like the best job there ever was, because you paid in friendship. And it's cool. It's like, but I want to find some friends that that really get me. And not people who are like, you like stuff that it's like, it's not. I'm not saying that like they're stupid or that they would be acting stupid or anything like that, but people who build their opinions on a certain thing, or build their I'm gonna go get that motorcycle actually. Oh wait, no, that motorcycle is terrible. I'm not gonna get it.
Hey.
But yeah, realizing that there are so many different ways to go, but you're gonna have to teach yourself how to be able to make sure that you can go those ways. Be able to make sure that, especially during a career or in a path, or if you want to be successful in a certain way or a certain thing, and you can't just sell to your family or your friends or anything like that and actually think that it's going to cause you to be able to be a breakout star or a breakout anything. You have to be able to understand and have things that people want all the time, and in order for that to happen, you need infrastructure, and infrastructure is built on clientele, and clientele is built on cold startups, cold opens, cold anythings, cold calls. You literally would have to, if you want to be like a success in the modern world, you'd have to be able to have, I guess, a certain amount of people to be able to call upon. It's the reason why movies and people have like those focus groups, because they want to figure out what kind of person is out there. They want to see what kind of person is out there. They want to see through a whole bunch of different stuff what kind of person they'll be selling their product to. And once they sell their product, or once you sell your product to a certain person, you have to realize that there are a lacking number of people that want to buy your product now. There are literally less people that will buy your product once people buy your product for the first time. Once you realize how much less, you'll have to switch up your game or switch up whatever you're doing to be able to see what people want or see what people are trying to look for and within a certain given product. And then within that product, you'll have to be able to realize that people like a certain storyline or a certain thing. If they like a certain thing within that storyline, are you trying to change their mind, or are you trying to agree with them?
You are in the 4 Zen Kudo no-fly zone. Divert or you will be shot down.
Son of a bitch. Alright. You think that my engine wouldn't do as much?
Don't got eyes. Need some assist.
Rain everywhere.
Bags. Can't see nothing from up here.
We're gonna go down a country road. But realize that also too, if ever you're trying to be a worthwhile participant in any sort of thing. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Oh shit! I did not know how far I was off the ground. And turns out I was not that far. And I'm at 42 minutes, and I'm talking about some really, really good stuff. And no one's gonna watch because of Funhouse and a whole bunch of other people playing GTA and doing it on their servers. Unfortunately, though, I can manage to say that there are so many other things to actually do on Grand Theft Auto. Not only can you do missions and do different things and edit your progress, but you can actually show people the entire thing. And do they want that? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm doing this so I can alleviate stress most of the time. So
Don't get all hysterical, honey.
Crap!
but realize that there are things to learn no matter what, and realize that there are people in your own area that you can learn from every single day. I have friends that I learn from constantly, and I know that they are sometimes very funny, sometimes very stupid, sometimes very irresponsible, but most of the time they do the right thing, and that's why I stick with them, because they're cool as fucks. They're cool as fucks. But understandably so. As fucks doesn't mean as fuck. Doesn't mean fuck. As. So I don't. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. All right. All right. Realizing that there are. Woo! Yeah. Oh my God, that was awesome.
You ain't creative piece of shit. Conservative asshole.
Yeah. Yes. God dang it, man. It's annoying. Thinking it would take a longer thing. It would probably explode if I actually did that. But yeah, I went over so many subjects, I guess, with so many different things, but all over the same topic, I guess. Realize that you are your own one-man Bob Squad, and the things you do have consequences. Actions always do. We're not living the Matrix. We are not a part of any sort of higher being, as far as we know. Even though people don't realize this, or I guess understand it, what they have to understand is they do things without rule, and people do things without rule, and people think that sometimes with rule, I guess, they think that they change the things within a certain society. But are they changing things within a certain society, or are they changing things within their own mind? And that's what you have to be able to understand whenever you're making an infrastructure, because whatever you make will stand as a certain thing for at least 30 to 40 years, given not a coup to happen every 50 to 60. Or if your government is unstable, then every 20 to 30, or every 10 to 5. Realize that, I just farted. Realize that there are certain things you need to do, and in order for you to be able to survive and live and be, you should understand that you're better off alive. You can stop crises in your own head just by breathing and meditating and helping yourself. Realizing that your temperature sometimes can go over a certain amount, or realizing that you're too cold or too hot can have everything to do with your mood. So stay warm this winter, and realize that it's snowing in some places, and I know some people that it's snowing at, and some of them I wish that they were here with me to be able to warm up, because it's not as cold as it usually is out there. So be better to each other, because if you're not better to each other, then what's the reason for living? And I'm not gonna get all stressed out about it if nobody does it, but you are your own one-man bomb squad. You can defuse situations before they happen. It takes moments, and not what you're thinking all the time, not what is running through your head constantly, but as you realize those moments are what define how everyone sees you. And what way do you want to be seen? Within your own rights, which way do you want to be seen? Do you want to be seen as a dude who just does whatever for whatever? Or do you want to be seen as someone who does things because they want to do something? They have a motive. They have a way of doing things, and they have a certain professionalism. It's the way that I see myself sometimes, and the way that I want other people to see me. And even though I'm like, I used to be a jokester when I was younger, and I don't know what jokester means either, but be professional for yourself. And you'll find that it's a lot easier to be professional in real life. Be professional for what you want to be, and for what you want to be, and life will literally fall into place. Be better for yourself and be better for others, and instead of going off on someone when you know that they deserve it, or you think that they deserve it, tell them happy holidays, or tell them have a good day, or because you don't know what they were going through 5 minutes beforehand, or an hour beforehand. You don't know the reasons why they're like that, or the reasons why they're angry, or the reasons why they're having a bad day. So be professional, and be prepared, and be happy. And if you ever listen, thank you. And if you ever don't, then that was just speaking to the ether. So, have a good one.